Hello and welcome to the second video in which we're going to talk about how to create a photography homepage with minimal effort. So if you remember, a few months ago I did a video which was called Photography Homepage in 10 minutes, and I kind of left you hanging there. So in this video we were just laying the foundations but not really going into the details on how to take this homepage to the next level, give it your own look, add a header, also add a blog to it. So the template on which this video was based, so my homepage template, I've worked on it now the past weeks, improved it, extended it, and now it's time to fill in the gaps, so make the homepage a little more custom. So as you see behind me here, there's now a header in it. I also show you how to integrate a WordPress blog and have it interact with the rest of the homepage. So let's not waste much more time. Let's get right into it, and I show you how to customize your own photography homepage. So if you remember, at the end of the first video we ended up with a homepage that looked roughly like this. So we had this home here, we had a portfolio, which was kind of the focus of the last video, how to set this up, how to provide the images. We have a contact form, we have some imprint, so just the bare bones of the homepage. And up here there's still this huge white area, the header, which was left blank, which we need or which we want to customize to make this homepage visually a bit more appealing. So since the last time, a few months have gone by and I've added features to this homepage template. One feature you see popping up here, up in the right side, is search with Google. So you can now search this homepage or any homepage you create with Google, and I'll show you later how to set this up. So currently it doesn't do anything. Also, the layout changed just a bit. So I moved this header bar or a navigation bar up into the header. Before it was still placed beneath. And then I also made some adaptations, improvements under the hood. So first thing you need to do is follow the steps in the first tutorial to download this template, build it, get started, set it up until you end up with this homepage or something like this. Now, if you already did so because you watched the first video and your homepage now looks a little different, I'd suggest that you again download the newest version here from my GitHub, and then just copy over your pages folder, which is what we were working on in the first video, into the source folder of the new version. So basically taking your pages which you already worked on, put them here over the pages that come with a template. And as I said, if you haven't done so and just starting out, just follow the first video, get the latest version directly, and set it up until it looks like this. Now, as a first step, let's bring in the header. First thing we need to do is to create a header. Now, this area, as it's configured currently, it has a height of 224 pixels. So your header image should be at a minimum this height. If it's larger, it will be resized, preserving the aspect ratio, so no problem there. It will also be centered. And from the width, you should go with some panoramic header, so maybe format 8:1 or something like this to cover the whole area. If your header is smaller, it will just be centered. I've already created a header and I've put it here under variant minus custom images header. And that's the important part. There are two variants. There's this variant base, which contains the base implementation, and you should not make changes here. This is also what I regularly update, improve, and this is where new features come in. Here you see there are also already some images, for example, some Amazon images, navigation images, we have social media links, stuff like that. And this is stuff you can reuse and you shouldn't change anything here. Instead, the approach is that you work in this custom folder and you just override or add whatever functionality you want. For example, under variant base, you see there's a header folder already, but it's empty. What you do, you create your own images header folder under your variant custom, and there you can put in your header image. This way it kind of overrides what's in the base variant. In this case, there's no image widget overrides, but you could also replace other images. For example, if you want other images here for the social media links, just create a social media links folder here under custom images, social media links, and replace the images. But you don't need to touch the images up here. So that's kind of the philosophy here. You have some kind of inheritance structure. So the base, and then in custom you can override whatever you want, customize whatever you want. Now we put in the header here. How can we activate it? And that's quite simple now with a new template, with the changes I did. If you remember this page data.json from the first video, this is where we did all the customization till now, aside from adding a page. Now what you can do here, let's just go up here under page contact, but you can add it anywhere. We put in page, header, image. And we have it point to images, header, header.jpg. Gonna save it, and now we run the gulp command, which you already know from the first video. And when I refresh now, voila, here's the header. And this is quite easy, and now it also looks a little more visually appealing. You see here I have a slight milk glass effect, I'd call it. So this is doing some blurring. Also if you scroll down, so this navigation bar fits nicely into this whole area. And if somebody has a high resolution screen and this is much smaller, you also see why I faded out the header to the sides. So it will just be seamlessly going into this white. So yeah, that's quite easy now. And already the homepage looks much better. And if you put some images of yours here, you already have customized the page to be your own page. Now, as a next step, I want to show you another feature which I have included. If we scroll down here, this was the page we added in the first video. Down here we have some Amazon affiliate text saying, I'm a participant of that service, and if you want to support my channel, you can use one of the links. But where are the links? So I haven't added any links here. Now, instead of putting affiliate links in here manually with images, I already have this included in the template. So if you have your affiliate links for Amazon, what you can do is just create an Amazon affiliate section again here in the page data. And you have different options, so you can provide different affiliate links. So since we're now doing just an English page, maybe for the US, you might just want to use the US, but you might also be a participant in the UK Amazon affiliate on the German one. So for now, I'll just remove those two. We just leave the US link, and that's my affiliate ID. You will have your own. Now, once you have added this, the affiliates are ready to be used. How do you use them? You go to whatever page you want to include them. For us, it's the index. Let's go down to this line here and insert include parts en Amazon links -njk. So this is a Nunjax partial. I provide those in the variant base under the templates folder. There are different partials and there's the Amazon links. If you want, you can look at those, what they do. If you're interested in coding, I'd say. Otherwise, you shouldn't care too much. You should just care that they are there and that I provide some of those which you can use. And one of those is this one here, this Amazon links NJK. And you can include this everywhere you want, where you want affiliate links. Now let's save this, compile the page again. And if I refresh now and scroll down here, you see there's an Amazon affiliate link. It's going to the Amazon homepage, amazon.com, and it has my tag at the end. So if anybody clicks here, then buys something, I get a little commission. And that was quite easy to include. Now, if you want custom links to special products, you do it differently. You have to just create those links on your Amazon affiliate homepage, or not homepage, on the Amazon homepage in your affiliate center and directly drop them into your blog posts or to other text. But here, such a generic link where you just want to have somebody, okay, hey, if you want to support me, go to Amazon and buy something, I get a commission. You can easily do this. And now I already mentioned it, if you have a blog post. So where are the blog posts? That's the next step, which I'm going to show you how to do. You can simply integrate WordPress into this template. So let's just create a blog link up here and then also install WordPress, and I show you how easy it is and how it works out of the box. So if you want to use WordPress, the first thing you need is a database. So when you have a provider for your homepage, usually the plans include at least one database, sometimes even more. And in my case, for my own homepage, I think I have two, and one of those is linked to WordPress. What we're gonna do here for this example, I just create a database in laragon. So I showed you laragon in the first video, and I already mentioned that it includes capabilities to create MySql databases. And I'm just gonna do this here. So this is the phpMyAdmin, and it's also typical that you can use this one for some providers. For example, I use this also when I want to access the databases of my real homepage. So I quickly create a database just so we can use it. So let's give this a name, demo page. And yeah, now that I have created this page, I also have to create a user. So I already have some users here, but yeah, just to show you how to do this, I'll create one. It might also be the use case if you have a hosting provider that you have to create a user. So let's just create a user account here. I'm currently at this demo page. I go to rights management, or I'm not sure, so this is the German version, sorry for that, but I create a user. So I give it a name. Let's call it demo user. In this case, it's localhost. Give it a very, very good password. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is extremely weak, as it says here. So normally you generate a password down here. Well, let's just do this. And you have to remember this one because we're soon gonna need it to set up the WordPress page. Down here, I select everything. And yeah, that's really all I need to do. So let's again copy this password because I need it and press OK. So now everything's set up, the database is there, the user's created. Now we're gonna install WordPress. First you go to the official wordpress.org download page and get the latest version. Currently it's WordPress 5.6. You download it, it's a zip file which you then unzip. And you put it directly into the dist folder. So the dist folder is the folder where all your pages compiled into. And this WordPress goes directly into the dist folder, but not in the root, under the blog subfolder. So there's a dist blog subfolder. Once you compiled your page once, you then gulp, you will have this. So here you extract this WordPress.zip. Now it has created a subfolder which we don't need, so I just go into the subfolder, cut everything and paste it directly into the blog folder. Now I can remove the zip file, I don't need it anymore. Now here in this folder, once you extracted it, you'll find a WordPress -config -sample. You rename this file and call it just WordPress -config. And when you right click, or let's just go over to Visual Studio Code again. Now up here under blog, in the dist, you have this WordPress and you go to the WordPress config, and now here you see you have to provide the database name, the username, the password, the host. So the username was demo -user. The password is why you needed to remember it. We get this over. And then up here the database name was demo page, I think. And after providing this information, I save it. That's all that's needed for the setup part. Now what we're gonna do is we'll navigate to the blog page, and now it will ask us to make some selections to set this page up. I'm gonna use English as language, give the site a title, for example, demo page. Obviously here it's my name, which I also need for accessing the page. I just call it Meet Bright Photo. And here again, you can create a password, but we'll just go with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For this example, you should really create a good password here. I confirm this weak password, it's okay. Here I create or enter my email, which is also used if you forget your password. And now I install WordPress. This now creates all the data in the database, sets up all the linking, and now I can log in. How was the password again? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's remember me, log in. And now this is the typical WordPress dashboard where you can create some blog posts. Here's already one, hello world. Okay, that's fine. Now visit the site again. Now this looks not right. Also, there are no links to my other page. So it's the typical standard WordPress template. And normally what you do, you download some templates now to configure the site, but that's not needed. We want to have this site just look exactly like the rest of the page and also have links. So let's go back to Visual Studio Code once more, run gulp. And if you notice, down here under source pages, there's a blog section, which you don't need to touch, but it includes already a theme. Now after this gulp command was run, we go back here into the dashboard, we go under appearance. You see here's the Me Bride photo. Let's activate this. And now if we go back, visit the site, voila, here's our site. And here's the links to the portfolio. But we're still missing the link to the blog, so let's include this one. Do this again down here in the page data, under the navigation. Let's just create another line here. Call this one blog and have it point to blog. Save it, build it again. And now here we have the link to the blog. We can go back and forth. So now we have a fully functional WordPress blog included with the rest of our homepage. And I can create a new blog post just for testing. Test post. Some test post, very creative. You can also include images. Oh, let's just do that. Let's include an image. Okay, so here we have an image. Let's just directly publish this post and view it. Here it is, image nicely centered. I can also go to the previous post, go to the next post, and down here we already have some share buttons. Well, let's just share it on Facebook. Okay, this we cannot do because we don't have a real published page. You see here the URL. It's not a public page, but when you have set this up correctly on a real home page with a real server, you can use those buttons to share it. Now let's go back to the blog. You see here's the test post, can go in. So a fully functional blog in just a few minutes, and the best thing, it looks exactly like the rest of the page and you don't have to worry about using any of those unoptimized homepage templates for WordPress, which have a lot of clutter with them. This is just a very fast, minimalistic WordPress blog without comments even. So if you want to add those or have those, just let me know. I can maybe add them to the template, but I found I don't need them. I just want to have some articles, and it's just too much work to maintain or to clean up all the comments, because you also get a lot of spam if you allow comments. Now at the beginning of the video I was already talking about this search bar up here, which currently doesn't do anything. I'll quickly show you how to set this up. If we go back to the page data, you'll notice there's a line which is called Google Analytics, which is where you enter your Google Analytics tag to have your page tracked by Google. And then there's also this Google Search, which also gets a tag. So under Google, and I have another video on that in my other channel, I'll link this below, you have the ability to create a programmable search engine for a specific page, for example, your homepage. And if you watch the other video, I'll guide you through the steps you need to do to set this up. And at the end of the setup, you get an ID or a number. And I just pasted in here the number I use for my photography homepage. So you just enter it here, build again. And now if I refresh and use this search now, for example, searching for London, where I know I have some content on my other homepage, you get the search results all pointing to my eBrite photo homepage now, because this is for what I have set up, this custom search. You can set it up for any of your pages. I also have the image search here. And if I click on it, I'll be taken directly to the page which contains, for example, this photo or this content. So that's quite nice and easy. And I can also have the typical Google options here, search by date, search by relevance, stuff like that. So now we have home, we have portfolio, we have contact, we have an imprint, we have a blog with its own search. So this search will just go across the blog. And then we have the Google search, which searches the complete page, including images. So that's quite nice. And also the page now looks a little better. Final thing I want to show you, how you can change the look. And I'll just show you now how to change the colors. So changing the look of the page requires some CSS settings, and I already mentioned this variant base and this variant custom. Variant base you shouldn't touch. Variant custom is where you can do overrides, and both contain a styles folder. Now here on the variant base styles there are different files which hopefully are named in a self-explanatory manner. So you have this header which contains the styles for the header. You have main, which is the main styles for the main area, navigation, all this stuff. And you can override any of those files. And the colors for the page are located under variables. And if we want to change them, let's just copy this variables as CSS and put it down here under variant custom styles. And now here in custom, what we can do, we can just change colors. So for example, let's just make the background a little darker, so not completely white. So maybe give it a little bluish tint. Just a little. Oh no, let's not give it a tint. Just make it a little darker than the white we had. And this base color, also make it darker, like this. And you can change the other colors. You can also change the shadows or remove the shadows. Now, when I save this, compile it again, if I now refresh, you see suddenly everything has become a little bit darker, also the text. So that was quite easy, just by changing the globally defined colors. And you can play around with it, find the color scheme which works for your page, and also further edit it. And if you want, you can change others too. Let's check the header, for example. This contains information how high or how big the header image is. So if you want to have the header a little smaller, let's just copy the header, put it down here and say, okay, 14 rem. So rem is usually how you create a responsive page. Those are later transformed into pixels. So for my home page, 1 rem is 16 pixels, which I have set up in the root. Let's just make the header a little smaller. Let's give it 10 rem, so making it 160 pixels high. Compile it, refresh, and suddenly it's gotten a lot smaller. Now, this also broke the position of the navigation. So you see, now you really have to play around. So let's check where the navigation is set up. Here's a navigation and it has a top placement. So let's just copy the SCSS, paste it under styles and move it a bit up. So we now have the header. Let's put it at 7, build again, and yeah, it looks better, fits again. And the best thing is, since you didn't touch the base, you can just remove what you did to the header and the navigation. So remove it from your custom, build again, and you're back to normal. So that's a very powerful way to customize your page, play around. Even if you don't know CSS, it's very easy. Just do some Googling and play around with this page. And yeah, I hope you liked this video. If this is interesting and you want to learn more, just let me know. Also, you can make suggestions if you want some features. Maybe I can include them. This is also why I have this as open source. I want to have feedback. Also, if you find bugs, let me know so I can fix them and make this or improve this template step by step.